Show, yeah.
Down in the depths of my soul, feeling the loss of control and in a spirit so colorful. Easy feeling, then let's go to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Rise, rise, keep on rising,
Can you hear me?
We can indeed.
Great. Welcome, everybody, to the Toon Review for tonight's Sheffield United Newcastle United preview. Thank you to everybody that is tuning in tonight. We have, obviously, the preview of the match. We'll have a chat about that. A chat about what I did a video on earlier today, some comments from ex-players. And we have some prizes again to give away. We'll have a couple of members' draws, and we have a draw, well, a couple of draws for the viewers as well. So everybody that's watching will have a chance to win something tonight as well. Currently, Liverpool drawn 1-1 at some place in Europe.
They are one each at Lask in Austria, and Aston Villa are getting beat by Legia Warsaw 3-2. So all those Villa fans and Liverpool fans who are taking the piss out of us,
Absolutely.
they're struggling.
Yeah. Against what can you be? I mean, Legia Warsaw aren't minnows, really.
That is a hostile atmosphere.
Yeah,
it's mental. Every time I've seen Warsaw play, they either set their own stand on fire or they kill someone. They are mad.
Well,
oh, dear me.
Yeah. Well, we'll start off with Mr. Bruce. We'll touch on him because he's done a podcast with Simon Jordan and made some comments regarding Mike Ashley, saying that, well, he claims that Mike Ashley just said to him during the summer, there is the pot of money. It's not very much. Get on with it. And that was it. But again, it's Steve Bruce basically not taking any responsibility for the fact that he's a terrible manager. But there you go. I don't know whether you guys want to comment anything on it.
I watched it earlier, and once again, it's Steve Bruce playing the victim.
Yeah.
According to Steve Bruce, wherever he went on the streets of Newcastle, the very vast majority of people said, keep on going, Steve. Keep your chin up. You're doing a good job. Absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah. And my bollocks are as smooth as a baby's arse. Absolutely rubbish. Honestly, the man is so deluded. It's just, it's mental. It really is mental. By the way, Alex, are you impressed with how my beard's coming on, by the way?
Yeah, you're getting there. Definitely, it's really coming on.
It's
well,
getting
I like how you've got white stripes there. You've literally got black and white stripes on your beard, which is on brand. I like it.
That's why I didn't want to touch it up. You know what I mean? Because I accept my age, Alex, unlike you.
I feel like we're in fucking ZZ Top.
I beg your pardon?
I feel like we're in ZZ Top.
Well, give me all your money. But you know what it is? It's.
Are we still talking about Steve Bruce?
I don't know. We kind of got sort of pushed to the side there, but I
want to mention something as well about Steve Bruce, by the way. Well, we can return to your beard, definitely.
Come on, then.
Not really about the pot of money, though, is it? He mentioned this pot of money, and this is how much you've got. I mean, it's not, though.
Yeah.
If you're going to naively and blindly say, okay, Mike, yeah, sure, when the most basic of Twitter or social media follower can go, here's the broadcasting revenue, here's the transfer profits, here's this. It's all the data's there generally for you to see. You can see, what money's put into the club because it's all in company's house. it's quite standard for people to just go and work this out.
Yeah.
And there was always extra money that wasn't put into the club. So again, he is a liar.
He is.
Not necessarily Steve Bruce, but in terms of Mike Ashley with the availability of money, there was more money available. He could have used more. It was what he wanted to put in, which is fine. That's his decision. But don't tell us there isn't money to put in, because obviously there is.
Yeah.
But
like
you know,
way,
when you're,
I like the way he comes out with Billy. You'll have noticed this when he was asked about staying in the Premier League. That was his only job, but he didn't kind of elaborate on that and say that we weren't going to be in the Premier League had I stayed there after the takeover. We would have been relegated.
Yeah, without a doubt.
He doesn't mention that.
He chose not to speak about that bit. All he spoke about was the previous 2 seasons where we looked at with Joe Willock coming in and scoring in 8 consecutive games, and the season before that where we kind of bored people to death with the style of football.
Yeah,
it was just an absolute shit show. He went all in on Craig Hope as well.
Well, that didn't really surprise me. They do have a history, those two. Anyway, Peter Griffin, thank you for your $4.99 super chat. He says the first Toon Review video I ever watched was the post-game video from the most abysmal away performance and team I've ever seen under Bruce away at Sheffield United. Yes,
I remember that.
We need to put a few ghosts to rest at Sheffield United on Sunday, given how the last match turned out. It was one of the worst, of course, we've ever seen. Fraser sent off and seemed to quite enjoy being sent off for some strange reason. It was awful. It was just an awful game, because I believe that Sheffield United going into that game hadn't won, Billy, all season. And then we turn up.
Yeah, I think they had 3 points, something ridiculous. It was, out of the ordinary. We still weren't confident to go there and get a result, and we were quite right to be, because we were absolutely atrocious. Players playing that position, players not really bothering. Weren't afraid to come on the sub and being sent off within 10 minutes of being on the pitch, I believe. Yeah, it was just a shit show from start to finish, and Sheffield United took advantage of it.
Yeah, do you remember Callum Wilson losing his temper and just belting the ball into the stands?
Yeah.
Out of pure anger and frustration. It was.
He must have wished he'd stayed at Bournemouth despite them being relegated. He must have wished at that point, because he was getting no service. We were playing awful. There was no substance to our play. There was no style in it. It was basically give the ball Maxine, see what we can do with it, and that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian McKenna, I have to pick you up on this comment because I'm a little scared by it, to be honest. Regardless of Newcastle, Steve Bruce has been involved in football more than any of us, and I find his views interesting. Now, I don't know whether that's
your opinion.
I'm trying to think if that's a laughing emoji he's put on the end of it, or supposed to be. I hope it is, Ian. Hey, I mean, if you find his views interesting, but do you listen to him before you fall asleep on a night time? Is that why you find them interesting? Because it helps you sleep? Perfect cure for insomnia. Gallagher Brown celebrating 14 months membership on the Toon Review. Says Botman will score the winner. Who's with me? Stato knows. I don't think Stato's going to predict Botman to score today. I have just an inclination that he's not going to do that, because if he does, I'm going to fire his ass, because it's now putting pressure on Botman. And Sven
Get to watch.
I mean, there might be the odd player that's seen the show. Like, I would imagine Murphy or Anderson's probably clicked on a few YouTube channels.
Well,
I'm not sure Botman has. Although Botman might have looked at YouTube and Twitter when there was the whole fiasco about him, whether he's going to sign for us or Milan. He might have perused social media, but probably not. Yeah.
I Like Coffee says, I went back and watched the Toon Review's oldest video on the channel from 2 years ago. The current oldest one is a transfer show.
Oh, wow.
And I believe the sound quality would have been abysmal. I've gone back and watched a few, and I thought, wow, how bad. It's got seriously professional since then.
We need to go back and look at some of our old transfer shows and see if I was chatting absolute nonsense or not.
Well,
go and have a look.
I mean, if you want to put yourself through that, Alex, I mean, that's fine, mate. But I think 2 years ago was before you'd even arrived. So I think this was just a
about then.
Transfer shows that I used to do, I think, just on my own. Hey, you never know. Mary says there are cures for insomnia, but Ashley is definitely not the answer. John's backdoor says Bruce's views are as interesting as my dog taking a dump in the garden. Absolutely. Sophia says, I could think of 1,000 other things to watch, and none of them would include Steve Bruce. Yeah. Right, so we go into the game. Of course, well, I mean, it's going to be very interesting for me to see how A, we line up, and B, how we play, because I think it's about time that we saw a bit of attacking prowess like the Villa game. I want to see us properly go for the throat of Sheffield United, but I'm not sure we will, Alex, because I don't know. Sheffield United put a decent performance on against Man City. They did well at Tottenham. So it's I don't know. We should be beating them by a stretch, in my opinion. But the way we are at the minute, I don't know. What do you reckon?
No, we should be absolutely steamrolling them. No questions asked. I don't care if we've played on Tuesday. We have some rotation options. We have to absolutely batter them. They are not good enough for this league. They've put up 3.5 XG total so far this season. We scored 5 on the opening day. They are shocking. Their talisman is Cameron Archer, who was Villa's, and Ryan Brewster, who no, there is no excuse not to go. Look, I liked the old version of Sheffield United that first came up. They were creative tactically. They had the overlapping centre halves. Dean Henderson was solid in goal for them. I liked that team. This team is not good enough for the Premier League. Well done for them getting back.
Ooh,
I don't
Alex,
particularly like Sheffield United at all, and I am happy for them to get absolutely steamrolled, and they should do. Anything except a convincing victory is not good enough. Regardless of us playing on Tuesday night, we need to be able to beat this team. They have not won in a very, very long time. I mean, if we go back and have a look, loss against Tottenham, loss against Everton, loss against Lincoln, loss against City, loss against Forest, loss against Crystal Palace, loss against Stuttgart. The last time they won was against Derby in a friendly, which was months ago. Got to beat them.
Do you
to beat them.
Share the same as Alex? Are you along the same lines?
No, I'm not actually. I'm a bit wary of them, to be honest. They were an animal that were damaged, unfortunately, last week in a bit of a refereeing disaster, I think. 16 minutes of injury time. Way too much for a game that they were 1-0 up with 8 minutes of them minutes gone of injury time. I felt, I did feel a little bit sorry for them. Heckingbottom's comments I agreed with. And I think they'll feel the world's against them. And I think they may.
Oh, I did agree with that post-match interview. Yeah, to be fair.
I believe that they may feel that the world's against them, and they may be a wounded animal this week, even though they're not a wounded gerbil as opposed to a wounded lion. But I think they'll be kind of going for it this week, and I think they'll feel the world's against them. Paul Heckingbottom will have them wound up. They could be a very physical, dirty side. They have got some good creative players in there. Gustavo Hamer's one I've seen quite a lot. Never plays 90 minutes, but for 70 minutes, he's fantastic. Generally, when I've seen him, he's done okay in the Premier League from what I've seen. And I'm a bit wary of him. I think we've got to kind of be on our mettle to get something out of the game.
Interesting. Francisco, I hope you're okay, my brother out there. Hey, boys, one other thing to consider is that our 5th signing is getting Champions League experience as well and looking good in it. Your thoughts?
No, I believe
I wouldn't consider it a transfer.
We'll go next year. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Yep. That's very confident, Billy Bob.
Well, he's showing every week that he's a quality player, from what I can see.
Yep. Barry the Beast says, honestly, this will not be as easy as we are thinking. They will be up for it, in my opinion. Scrappy game ahead. I tend to agree with Billy, Alex. I know, on paper, we should be destroying them. But it hasn't done that.
It'll make a bit more sense in the graphics. It will make more sense in the graphics. Tottenham should not have been in the position they were in. They should have put that game to bed. They should have been well ahead. They will be annoyed that they made it so difficult. Honestly, it's not that complicated. It's purely that we've just got to be clinical. We can't have one of these silly games where we keep having a bunch of 25-yard pops. We hit the post 2 times in the first half, and the goal will come. We can't have any of that nonsense. We've got to hit the back of the net. We've got to be clinical, or what you guys are saying could definitely happen. We need to make sure because we generally, against this kind of team, we create a lot of high value opportunities, and we're quite wasteful. We need to make sure we're clinical and they're focused at the task at hand.
Joe E says Sky claiming that Sheffield have found stability and are functioning as a unit. They've conceded 9 goals in 5 games, I take it, including 5 at home and 2 against Everton. They're there for the taking. If Everton score 2 past them, then surely we can get a few. Mark says we have a good opportunity to get an unbeaten run going and get some momentum. Tom says I don't fear Sheffield United, but I don't underestimate them. You can't dismiss some of the results they've had, especially last week. Foxy says Sheffield United have the record of 17 games without a win in the Premier League 2021 season. Game 18, they beat us. Sheffield United are not an easy game, regardless of ability. Man City struggled against them. I think it's the way Heckingbottom set them up, to be honest. And like Billy says, I think Heckingbottom will do exactly the same thing against us. They will be up for this game. There's no doubt about it. They want to get some big scalps. We're a Champions League side. It's a big scalp. It's a very big scalp. Before we go any further, we're going to do the draw now. The first draw is for this, which is another one of our Bruno and Joe Linton dancing. We have 2 of these to give away, so there will be 2 draws for these, and this is open to everybody. All you need to do to win one of these is put in the comments #Brazil. BRAZIL, all in lowercase, #Brazil. This is open to everybody, and you will be entered into the draw to win one of those prizes. So there's 2 to give away. Get # and Brazil in the comments, and you will be entered into the draw, and they will be sent out tomorrow to you, so you have a chance of winning. Right, Alex, I think you were about to say something there just before I went into the draw.
Yeah, so I disagree with everyone. The Man City Sheffield United game, Man City accumulated 3.6 XG to Sheffield United's about 0.6. So again, it's an outlier. It's an anomaly. We're going on what should happen generally game to game. Is it possible that we have an anomaly game? Yes, definitely. They could score a couple of wonder goals and we could be unfortunate in front of goal. It does happen. If it does happen, we'll have to accept it. It can happen in football. However, I don't think Man City were bad against Sheffield United. They had 80% possession, 30 shots, 3.6 XG, and they won the game in the end. And they deserved to. They were absolutely battering them. The same with Spurs. I'll show you that when we go to the graphics. When you look at the average positions of the Spurs against Sheffield United game, Kulusevski is in the box. On the average positions, he's in their box. Now, we've done a lot of average position graphics on this channel. Normally, you get sort of in your own half or in the middle or slightly in the opposition's half. Kulusevski is literally in their box as an average position. They are constantly, we need to beat this team. I don't agree about any of this. Like Man City absolutely pumped them.
Yeah, but the thing is, Alex,
Sheffield United were lucky not to be further behind.
But we can look back and talk about the game we've just seen at the San Siro. Very, very similar. Milan should have technically pumped us, the stats from the game.
Completely
but
agree.
They didn't.
Completely
and that's
agree.
what all down. Man City, they didn't.
But we've got to make sure we're clinical with that. But again, Sheffield United don't have Nick Pope in goal. Sheffield United don't have Kieran Trippier. This is a different, the golfing class was a lot closer between us and AC Milan than it is between us and Sheffield United. I feel like there is a bigger golfing class there. We need to be pumping this team. There are no excuses. There are some excuses. Again, like I said, if they score a couple of wonder goals from 35 yards, fine. It happens. It's not necessarily the lad's fault. However, 9 times out of 10, we should be winning this game. The same as that AC Milan game. If we play that game 9 more times, I think we lose the other 9. We just had a perfect game defensively. Yeah. It's one of those.
Clive, mate, you need to put the actual symbol hashtag, not type it in. You need to put the symbol. He has now, has he? All right, okay. So he has. Yes, Pedro, thank you very much. Now hit the thumbs up button. Indeed, please do. We need as many likes as we can on every single show that we do. So please just take 2 seconds out to hit the thumbs up. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. Come and be part of this incredible community on the Toon Review. And of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we schedule in our live shows and we upload any videos such as the one I did earlier on today. And of course, you can donate to the channel if you wish by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live comments. That will also enable you to get your comment read straight out. We do have a new member, Jason Selleck. Welcome to Members Club, Jason. Thank you very much. Ian Spoon's TTR road trip.
Oh yeah, I forgot to message last night, didn't I?
Yeah.
Been very busy. We will get back to you, Ian.
We will. But money maybe. Yeah. We'll
explain that.
Yes, we will. I Like Coffee says we need to test the Sheffield keeper and keep our shots on target. Mickey says, do you think Callum Wilson should start, Billy?
100%. Yes.
Yeah, I'm with 100%. You on that. Yeah. I don't really think that Isak's at it, quite honestly, at the moment. But, you know, he's just going through a little bit of a lull. But Callum Wilson seems to be on form. So for me, he's the on form one out of the two of them. But I still don't believe that Isak's a bloody striker anyway. I think he's a left forward. But
I think the front three picks itself purely based on that Champions League game. So we'll get on to that.
Yeah. Jack, good evening, buddy. Hope you're well. No Ollie McBurney for Sheffield United is a big loss for them. Absolutely. I'm really, although it was 2 yellows, wasn't it? So they couldn't appeal. Because, you know, I mean, it was a ridiculous sending off, you know. I mean, God, I would have been mortified had it been one of our players just saying, "Referee pulled me shirt," and then he gets a yellow card for it. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. Francisco says, Stato, I wonder, do you have a relationship stats conversation with your partner? Just kidding, brother. Love you.
Hugs per hour, yeah?
Hugs per hour, yeah. Predator, hope you're well, buddy. He's got a phone consultation, interventional radiology consultant. Right. Keep us posted, matey. Keeping every single finger crossed for you. Stiff Gator says, Wilson hopefully start on Sunday and bang them in for fun. I mean, if we can provide Wilson with the ammunition, Billy, he should score.
Yes, if we get the ball into him in areas, he'll score goals. But I do fear that they will play a low block, and we've traditionally found it hard to break down low blocks.
Yeah, good point.
And I don't think we'll have the creative players playing this weekend to kind of do that. But we'll see. We'll see. It's I've got lots of doubts about this game, I've got to be honest. Yeah,
you don't seem very confident. I mean, look, people have accused us of being too confident going into games before so far this season. So maybe, you know, we're just taking a step back from just saying we're going to hammer everybody because it ain't worked out like that. Matty Rutter, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for signing up and welcome to the Toon Review, my friend. You can now take part in the members draws, which will be coming up later on in the show. We'll do the hashtag Brazil for about 5 more minutes, guys. This is out to everybody. Hashtag Brazil, lowercase BRAZIL, to win a chance to win one of 2 pictures of Bruno and Joe Linton that we have to give away tonight. I Like Coffee says, I was impressed with how Milan took accurate pops from distance. It's been a while since we've seen a goal like that from outside the box. Well, I saw the goal Liverpool conceded tonight. That was a cracking hit, by the way.
They're 2-1 up now, by the way.
Sorry?
They're 2-1 up now, Liverpool.
Oh, well. Joe E says, a lot of chat about Tonali, but Isak's form bothers me more. His head isn't in it. That's an interesting point, Alex. I mean, a lot of people are picking up on Tonali. Not as much aimed at Isak. Why do you think that is?
I think, well, we've already had a huge run of quality from him with lots of goals. He's proven himself, lots of interesting dribbling, important goals at important times for us, getting points, whereas Tonali's new. So I understand the difference in criticism. However, I think people need to take a step back and understand this context for it. You know, the level of opposition we've played in consecutive games is absurd. You know, to have City, Liverpool, Brighton. I know we had Brentford and then Milan. That's an extremely high quality run of games. It's absurd. Struggled a little bit with his fitness. It happens. We know he's elite. He's literally. I mean, happy birthday today, Isak, as well. He's just turned 24 years old, so he's still nice and young. He's nowhere near where his peak's going to be. That's probably going to be in 2 or 3 years' time. It'll be fine. And Tonali, I think, deserves the benefit of the doubt, as I gave him AC Milan, because he's new, and you know it'll be fine.
Yeah. Tangy, good evening, buddy. He says Rodri goal was a quality goal that won the game for Man City at Sheffield United. Do we have similar players to win matches when we need to win like this? At the moment, our attack needs confidence.
I think Bruno Guimaraes is at least as much in quality as Rodri, although Rodri is obviously a better number 6 than what Bruno is, but certainly he's got the same quality at least as Rodri.
But if we're saying players to win games, we've got... I've just seen a 199 super chat from Ian again saying money's no issue. Sell more spoons. Message me. Don't worry, Ian. We'll explain everything to you, buddy. A lot of people though today, Billy, saying that well, a couple of reports that I saw, which I mentioned in the Daily News show. Some reports saying that he's thinking about dropping Tonali and putting Elliot Anderson in on Sunday. Would that be a move that you'd approve of? Or what would that do to Tonali's? Would that affect his confidence?
First, I don't think it'd be a case of dropping him. I think it's a case of rotating and resting. So I don't think he's actually been dropped for form, although his form hasn't been good since the first game of the season. But I still don't think he's properly gelled yet. I'll be resting Tonali on Sunday anyway. He had a knock before the game. He come off, he had ice on his ankle after the game.
Yeah.
And I thought Eddie Anderson did really well when he came on, so I think he deserves another chance. So I'll be resting him anyway. So his form hasn't been great since the Villa game. Let's be perfectly honest about it.
Yeah, very true. And by the way, just for anybody that's watching the show on a rerun, please don't put in the comments underneath in YouTube hashtag Brazil or anything like that, because it's a live show. So it's for the live audience. Just last time we did a giveaway, I had about 25 hashtag Brazils in the comments who'd watched the rerun. It's a live show. It's given away live on the show, guys. So please don't do that. But we'll do the draw now. So this is an opportunity for some people, well, 2 people to win now. So let me just share my screen. There we are, the giveaway tool. Can we see that?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, right. The first winner is Noxie Old School Lobley Hill. Well, that's a hell of a name. Can you let me know in the chat if you're there? You've got 2 minutes to respond to let me know that you have won. So that's Noxie Old School Lobley Hill. You have won the first one. So we'll just wait to see if he puts a comment in saying he knows he's won, and then we'll draw the second one. It's a hell of a username, that, to be honest. The Lobley Hill Massive. You've got to be quick, though. You've got to be quick, or we'll have to draw this one again.
Come on, Lobley, you can do it.
Yes. Where is Noxie? Come on, Noxie. I'm still not seeing Noxie.
He's nipped to the loo. He's going to be gutted.
Oh, he's there. He's there. Noxie, well
is.
done, mate. If you can just look halfway down the description, you'll see the business inquiries and the Toon Review email address. I need you to email me your address, please. And in the subject, put Brazil photo so I know what you've won. And I will get that sent to you tomorrow, Noxie. So well done. You are the first winner. The second winner is Billy Bones. Billy Bones, you are the second winner. So can you let me know in the chat that you know you have won, my friend? Billy Bones. Where is Billy Bones? Will he know that he's won? Billy Bones, come on. Nice little kitten there in the photo as well.
Yeah.
Come on, Billy Bones.
Come on,
Where
Billy
art thou?
Bones. You can do
Where
it.
art thou? Predator, you've still got your members draws tonight, matey, so you never know. We've got 3 member draws tonight. Billy Bones. Hi, Paul. Will you give it to Alex?
There you go.
So, Alex, it's up to
That's
you.
very kind.
Do you want it, or do you want to redraw it?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I feel like we should redraw it, but at the same time, I feel like that's disrespectful to his request. I mean, I guess we'll redraw it just to be fair.
Okay. I think Billy
For
will
the
be fine
viewers.
with that. Don't worry. Right. We'll do it
I
again.
appreciate the gesture, Billy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Billy Bones. That is a lovely gesture. You are a gentleman. The next winner is Fuggy Crack. I've seen Fuggy Crack in our chat a lot of times. So, Fuggy, can you let me know that you've won? And we will, well, he said for the grief he had. Thank you very much, Billy. That's so kind of you.
Billy, don't worry. Doesn't bother me, the grief.
Yeah.
I know
it
I'm right,
doesn't.
remember.
He's got the skin of a walrus. Come on, Fuggy. Where are you? Let me know. I don't know where people think of these usernames as well. I think it's mental.
Liverpool are 3-1 up, by the way.
There's Fuggy Crack. Fuggy Crack's there. Fuggy, email me your address, please, and put in the comment, put in the subject, Brazil photo. Now, the first members draw. Now, we're going to have a lot of people. The mods, I've just thrown a photo away. There you go. Right. The first one tonight, we have 2 of these to give away for the members. Martin Brophy, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for your support. It is this. Hang on a minute. I'll get rid of the share screen. Might help, actually. Just 1 second. There you go. Is another one of the Shearer ones. We've got 2 of these to give away. They'll go lovely in a frame. They are to our members only. Okay, so if you're not a member, do not try and win, because the our lovely mods will just delete the comment and it won't get registered anyway. So obviously we'll make 2 draws for this, and it's simply #Shearer. #Shearer, that is for members only. Members only. So away you go. Mods, can you make sure that if any non-members try and do it, you just delete their comments, please. But away we go. So mods, sorry, members, #Shearer. Right, Alex, graphics. Let's have a look.
Graphics. I mean, we can have a look at a few because they're all funny. Right.
Sheffield United.
Aye, lad, aye.
They're bloody awful.
Ask that one, ice cream.
Wasn't that actor a very big Sheffield United fan? Sean
Bean.
Sean
Bean. Yeah, he was, yeah.
If you ask me, Lovey, I think we're going to bloody batter him.
Aye, lad. Yogi, thank you for gifting another membership. That is very kind. And the membership has been gifted to Pedro. Brilliant. Well done, Pedro. You're now a member, so you can enter the members draw, matey. #Shearer. Go on, Alex.
Right, so Spurs against Sheffield United. This was their lineup for that game in their previous Premier League fixture. They've gone with
15's not playing on Sunday.
What's his first name?
Anal.
Okay. And anyway, moving on. So McBurney suspended. Cameron Archer is good and needs to be respected. He's a tidy centre forward. It was decent for Villa in pre-season. We did see quite a lot of him in pre-season for the Sulla Cup. Not the Sulla Cup. That's the wrong one. What was the funny American one called? The Funny American Championship, whatever you guys called it. That one. He was quite good. Anyway, poor side. I feel like they defended for their lives in this game. What I was talking about previously is players' average positions. So Kulusevski, conveniently, is the one who also got a goal. We'll have a look at players' average positions here. You can see that's Kulusevski's average position. This is offensive. This is Sheffield United's goal. that's where Kulusevski was stood on average. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely unheard of. That's absurd. And then if we have a look at Sheffield United's average positions, it was an anchor in front of the back four.
I just need to interrupt you because I've just seen a very interesting thing there. The other centre back, so you've got Anal Basham.
Conveniently up the back as well.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex, carry on.
Well, and they've also split in half as well because they've got the anchor. So the anchor midfielder, Cameron Archer, sat in on the halfway line really, clustered onto that right hand side because obviously they're going to go slightly more down the left with Son and stuff, all kind of favouring that left hand side for Spurs. That is outrageously deep how they're sitting there. Let's go and have a look at statistics for Sheffield United on average. Although, well, yeah, we'll do this first. I'll show you how bad they are in several ways. XG, 3.5. 19th in the league, 3.5. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Goals per match is considerably higher than they should be, but they are shocking for the amount they actually produce in expected goals value. Average possession, shocking as well, 35.6%. So I would expect us to have the lion's share of possession. They are bottom of the league with big chances created. We've just got to make sure they don't get another one against us and convert it. Accurate passes are not there either. When they do get the passes, they're not very accurate with them. Shots on target is extremely low. I mean, we did expect this. XG conceded, so expected goals against, basically. 11.6, second worst in the league behind Fulham. That's a lot. That's an awful lot. Things that they're good at, defending for their lives. So they're second in the league for interceptions per match, along with second in the league for clearances per match. Possession in the final third, bottom. It's much of a muchness here. You can see kind of what they're about. And if we go onto their overview, let's look at the City game to prove my point. That's Bramall Lane, which I don't like as a stadium either. That is the momentum bar. So there's Sheffield United there, a tiny little bit there.
It probably looked a bit like us for that in Milan the other night, Alex, to be fair.
Not this bad. So 30 shots to Sheffield United 6. 5 big chances to their 1, which was the goal. 12 corners to 1. Again, City were wasteful. They should have scored 4 or 5 goals here. The scoreline is not a true reflection of the game. We have to be absolutely pumping this team. And I do apologise because before we started, I did actually close down the tab I had prepared for.
Christ, Billy, Sheffield United look good on Sunday, don't they?
We've got no chance against them.
I know, right?
No.
So you'll have to ignore that.
I wonder if anyone's playing beyond Loftus Cheek.
Right. So let's get. I've deleted our players as well. I think I've deleted our players. Have we got all of ours? Right. So I mean, the big talking point is going to be Almiron potentially starting at right wing because obviously Murphy's just played. Gordon's played a lot of football. I'm not convinced he's going to start. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Barnes to come in and start. I think it's likely that these two will be the wingers. And then Wilson obviously to come in. However, that scares me. As I'm sure you will all recognize, they're both inverted. And I'm not convinced that's going to be the best way to break a team like Sheffield United down if we don't have that creative quality. Obviously, we've not seen that. We've not necessarily seen Harvey Barnes have a full go at that yet. So maybe he's quite capable of doing that. It doesn't fill me with confidence, though. I feel like we could do with maybe a touch of a little touch of creativity or magic in midfield, which we might not get if Tonali's going to be rested, which I feel like is likely. Botman, Schär, Trippier, and Burn. Where is Burn? There he is. Although, I feel like this is another game where it's very possible we see Hall or Livramento come in for a first start. Possibly. I feel like this is one of those opportunities where it would make sense for one of these two to come in with a bit of rotation. People might be tired. However, I think it's likely not, but we shall see. Longstaff is an obvious pick with Anderson coming into the side if Tonali's going to be rested. I feel like this is probably the most logical way we're going to line up against them.
See, I would love, Alex, to see Bruno pushed forward and Lewis Miley in on Sunday. I'd love to see Miley start, but I know he won't. But I think that would just, Billy, we talk about the shape and how we look during games, and just with Miley sitting in the number 6, I think would be so much easier with Bruno alongside Longstaff.
I think against Sheffield United, who will play a low block and will try and soak up the pressure, I don't think we'll play with the 6. I think Bruno will play, and we'll have 3 kind of 8s, if you like.
Right.
And I don't think we'll see Bruno that deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'll just depend on the defence to sweep up. I don't think they'll attack in numbers anyway. So I think we may see a kind of more forward Bruno anyway.
I wonder if we will change the fullbacks, Alex. I mean, you make a good point there. Even rest both fullbacks, because they've had a busy period of games, especially Trippier, because he played for England and then he's played on the against Brentford, then in Milan, and had a hell of a game. Is it time now that maybe we change the fullbacks? I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, completely. I don't see how that would be an issue. I don't think Sheffield United are good enough in terms of quality for us
because
to
the reason I'm saying
concerned
that
about
is,
this change.
Yeah, is because what Billy's just said. They will, we should have much more of the ball in Sheffield United, and they're not going to they're not going to dominate us in attack. So I mean, it would seem like a good option to change the fullbacks now and rest them.
Exactly. But so Morgan's just commented the exact thing I'm about to say. Sheffield United and Luton are the teams to try this kind of thing against. We need to try and get Livramento and Hall some minutes. We need to understand how we're going to use them in the team. Perfect game to do it. Absolutely perfect time to try it. Those guys need a rest. Burns had some bad games, good games. He's been hammered. He's played centre-half, left-back. He's knackered, as is Trippier. It's been a tough, emotional, crazy few weeks. Play Hall and Livramento. Perfect time. Absolutely perfect time. Additionally, it will help.
If you do that.
Barnes and Almiron, we suddenly have natural overlappers. That are the correct foot on both sides.
Would it not be a chance to go 4-2-3-1? If we're talking about maybe he's trying something different, because Sheffield United, they will be like any other team, expecting us to line up 4-3-3, as we've done so for many moons now under Eddie Howe. Would this be an opportunity to maybe just change it? Because we've got 2 very attacking fullbacks as well, who can certainly overlap. I just think it might be an idea to go 4-2-3-1. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd like to see something different.
I think if he's playing Livramento instead of Trippier, I think you may see Shah rested as well, and Lascelles coming in just to maybe take the armband as well.
Interesting.
I mean, that is a good shout, actually. That's not beyond the realms of possibility. I agree that could happen.
Because Cher is sort of an older player, isn't he? So he could do with the rest. We know how he puts himself around on the pitch, and of course did bang his head again, Billy, on Tuesday night. So that might not be a bad option.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't think Lascelles would struggle against the Sheffield United attack as such, as long as he's not against Archer, who's quite fit, quite fast, and quite physical too.
Because we have Man City coming up, don't we? In the Carabao. So it depends how Eddie's going to look at that. Does he think, right, I want to play a reasonably strong team against Manchester City because I want to give the cup another go? Or does he say, maybe I'll bring these youngsters in for the game against Manchester City?
I think he'll go out for the Man City game. I think we're trying to win that game.
I do as well. I think he wants to have good cup runs this year, especially with the way the league started. So I think he will treat that quite seriously. But it's interesting.
There's a lot of people talking about captains as well. Wilson, Cher, Lascelles, obviously, if he comes in, because he literally is the club captain. But it will be Wilson or Lascelles if Trippier's not playing, I would imagine. And Burn, obviously. If Burn, normally he gives the armband to Burn, to be fair. But if Burn's also rested, probably Fabian Cher or Callum Wilson, I would imagine.
Well, I would give it. I mean, I would give it to Bruno, me, if that was the case. But I mean, I think the way Bruno's playing now, he's looking like his old self. And I just loved what he's been tweeting out. Putting just how fantastic it is to represent Newcastle and everything.
I wouldn't want Bruno as a captain. It's one of those scenarios where I feel like it's an unnecessary extra burden on his shoulders.
You think it'd be a burden on him, do you?
I think I'd rather just let him play his football and do his job. I feel like there are players who are born for that role and are absolutely fine at it. But I feel like Bruno is he's a very emotional player. He plays how he feels. I don't think he's the best person to be a captain.
What about Botman?
He's a leader and he's inspirational, but that's not the only quality of a leader on a football pitch. You need somebody who's going to motivate, calm down, get people ready, riled up, angry. You need to be able to control things with the referee. There's a lot goes into that, and I'm not sure Bruno's the best player.
See, a lot of people are saying different things because this is the kind of conversation that it does bring up. To kind of phrase this, Bruno is too emotional to be captain, and then Paul Tully says that the captaincy would lift Bruno. John Green says, "Well, I've just said there. Why not Botman as captain?" I think there's various. I think it's.
Well, I think both are true. I think giving Bruno the captaincy would lift him initially, but then I think it would be an unnecessary weight on his shoulders long term because I just want him to play his football.
Yeah,
whereas there might be
he'd have to do too much on the pitch to sort of
exactly. But there are certain players that are just things like Botman. Botman is like the Terminator. He does not care. He doesn't care if you wind him up, pinch him. He doesn't care if he's losing, if he's winning. He's just Sven Botman. He's just got that face. He loves it. He's always up for it. He doesn't care. Botman would be cool. I feel like there are certain players that are born for that kind of role. They need to have that calmness about them. Trippier's got that. I don't think Bruno. I think Bruno's far too emotional. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
No,
but just not all players are born for that role necessarily.
Yeah. Billy, looking at that side there, is that side good enough to beat Sheffield United?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, of course it should be. As I said, I think Bruno will play further up the pitch. I don't think he'll have to sit as deep in front of the high back four.
Yeah.
I think we can get the ball out to Barnes and Almiron, and hopefully Almiron can have one of his games where he's a little less unpredictable. And we can get some balls in the box for Wilson, because if he gets service in the box, he'll score goals. But there's also goals there from Anderson, there's goals there from Barnes, there's goals there from Almiron, and even potentially Bruno also. Set pieces with that side, though. Who takes up set pieces? I guess it would be Barnes, wouldn't it, or someone like that?
Well, Barnes, Anderson, maybe.
Potentially.
I mean,
but I think if he rests Trippier, I think he'll rest Shea as well.
I'd probably say Bruno would take set pieces on that side. In all honesty,
yeah, potentially, yeah.
Lewis Hall.
Of course, Lewis Hall's from Chelsea. Yeah.
Foxy makes a good point. If you give Bruno the armband, he'll probably get more red cards. I completely agree with that.
I
feel like he's that kind of player.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian McKenna says Botman is like Prince Philip. He never sweats.
Prince Philip?
Yeah.
I think you mean his son, don't you?
Yeah.
No, he means Prince Philip.
I think he's referring to the pizza place with his son, Prince Philip's son.
Let's move on. Anyway, oh God, yes, oh dear. Never mind. Right, let's do the other draw, shall we? For the Alan Shearer photos, 2 members will win this one, and here is the first member draw. Who is going to win this one? Rod B. Rod B, you have won. So can you put in the chat that you are aware you've won, and you will be emailing me? Rod B, you are the first winner of the Shearer photo. Just wait for Rod to put a comment in saying he's as long as he's still with us and he knows he's won. I like how everyone congratulated him before we even know he's here. Well, he is here, but, is he? There he is. Aye, nice one. I'm here, lads. Great stuff, Rod. Send me an email, please, in the subject, Shearer photo and your address, and I'll get that whizzed off to you tomorrow. Right, we have another one to give away, so let's redraw. Here we go. Who is the next member to be successful? We should really have a drum roll here. The Handmade Angler. Darren, you've won. So can you put in the chat, please, that you're aware that you've won? I believe Darren's overseas as well, so let's see if he's still here. Come on, Darren. Let's see if you've still here. We do have one prize to give away again to members tonight, so it really does help if you are a member of the Toon Review. Handmade Angler, Belter, thanks, Paul. I'm not overseas. Just had a little bit of a sweat there. Darren, send us your email. Send us an email with your address, buddy, and I'll get that off to you tomorrow. Put in the subject Shearer photo, and we will whiz that one down to you as well. Right, the final giveaway tonight is the legend who is Jackie Milburn. His photo signature. It's framed. It's lovely. So you have a chance to win that one. Now, this is members only again. So if you want to win this, then you will simply type. I just need to wait till I've actually typed it so you can get going. It is hashtag War Jackie. So hashtag War Jackie, all in lowercase, WORJACKIE, hashtag War Jackie. And this is open to members. Get going, and we will draw that towards the end of the show. So hashtag War Jackie, members only, please. Thank you very much.
Can you explain how to join as a member, Paul? Because there's someone in the chat asking how you become a member.
Hit the join sign just underneath the 3 of our ugly mugs. If you're on iOS, you will have to go across to somewhere like Instagram. Look for the Toon Review on Instagram. Go into the bio, hit the link in there, and that will take you to a desktop version of YouTube where you can join. It's something to do with iOS. I don't know what it is, but if you're on iOS, you just need to do that. If not, the join button just underneath the 3 of us. Right, it is team prediction time. And, well, I mean, we've seen that team there that Alex put on the screen, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the team that any of us are going for. They are different options. Alex, we'll start with you tonight. What is your starting 11?
I mean, do you want to put the graphic back up and I'll just change it for whatever we all keep predicting?
Well, do I have to?
People can see it. Well, it means everybody can see it.
Well, okay, hang on. There you go.
So, I think it's possible that Lascelles is going to come in, but I think, in my opinion, I think this is most likely. I think I'm going to go with this. So, Pope in goal, Hall as a left back to get his first start with Botman, Share, Trippier staying in the side. Bruno, Anderson and Longstaff in midfield with Barnes on the left, Miggy on the right, Wilson up top. I feel like there are possibilities around Lascelles coming in and Livramento coming in.
Yeah.
Obviously, Livramento already has minutes. He has been subbed on before for us, whereas Hall hasn't. I don't think he's got any minutes yet for the club. We've not seen him yet. So, yeah, maybe Livramento or Lascelles, I think, are the ones up for debate here. Unless, I mean, who else have we got that could potentially come in? Gordon, I feel like, has to be rested, although we could be surprised. He might stay. You've got Miley, Murphy, Isak are all options, but I feel like it's potentially going to be this.
Okay. We'll still have a very strong bench, won't we? So, yeah. Interesting. Billy Bob,
Tonali
what's your...
might be on the bench as well, possibly.
I think Tonali will make the bench. Billy?
I think he'll play Livramento and Hall against Man City. So it's the same sort as that, but Burn for Hall.
So you think Burn will come in for Hall?
Yeah.
So you think it's going to be an unchanged back line?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. That's interesting. Guys, you've got about 5 minutes left for the draw. So hashtag War Jackie, but you do have to be a member. Remember, members only. Hashtag War Jackie. For me, I think he brings Hall in for Burn. I think he risks Big Dan.
So I think that's the same as me.
Same as Alex, yeah.
I just don't see him leaving trips out at the minute because his leadership, given the when we're not playing brilliantly at the minute, so we may need his leadership for a scrap. So I think he will be there, and the rest of it, yeah. I mean, you could say Gordon or Barnes on the left. I think you definitely bring Miggy back, and Callum. We need Callum's physicality up front without a doubt. So. A few people are saying as well that he could actually put Isak out on the left.
I mean, your options are what? Gordon, Isak, Miley, Murphy, Burn. So
I think Isak needs a rest, if I'm honest, and I think Barnes needs the minutes because I don't see the message that sends to Barnes if Isak's getting played ahead of him on the position where he plays.
Foxy says probably best to keep the same back four, back-to-back clean sheets, keep the run going. I agree to a certain degree, Foxy, but the problem is that the games we've got coming up, they're all mounting up. It's got to be about a bit of rotation now, to be honest. But I think it'd be nice to see Barnes start. We'll see what he can do. Anderson, for me, it'd be a huge opportunity if Tonali isn't in the starting 11. So that would be mine as well, I think. I can't see how that team is not good enough to beat Sheffield United. And if it's not, then we have problems. I think if we lose this game on Sunday, I think, questions will start to be, from normal fans, I guess questions will start to be asked. I think that, Alex,
it'll be the annoying people will do the same.
Yeah, but you've just said you expect us to pump them.
But again, it completely depends on the context. If we put in a really bad performance and they score 2 easy goals, I'm going to be really frustrated. But again, if we pepper them and their goalkeeper has a man of the match performance and they score 2 wonder goals, like it does massively
but questions
depend
will
on
be
the
asked
context.
about our finishing again and why aren't we finishing chances?
Well,
that's the pressure these guys are under. If we do pepper them and have plenty shots and things like that, but we don't score goals, questions are going to be asked about the front line as to why they're not taking the chances and what suddenly. I'll be interested to see how we press on Sunday, whether that actually, our pressing game comes back and we force Sheffield United into mistakes, because I think that's our best option. These guys on the ball, if they try and play out from the back, then press them and force them into mistakes.
Just out of curiosity, but based on the fact that he played the entire game against Milan, what do you think about that?
Swap Miley and Bruno around, maybe.
Yeah, swap Miley and Bruno around, definitely.
I wouldn't play Miley as a 6. I feel like that's asking for trouble.
But that's where he's played all the time.
I know, but I wouldn't play him that deep. I feel like
you're asking him to play a different position. He is a 6.
The thing with Longstaff is he needs minutes in his legs, and I think to take him out once he's achieved the kind of level he reached in the second half against Milan, to rest him again, I think I'd keep Longstaff in at all costs, because I think he's got the energy to do it.
I wonder if Howe is sitting with Jason Tyndall right now doing all this, just going through all the plays. That match is there. Then interesting. Chris McGee, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for your support, and welcome to the family, my friend. We've got 1 more minute. Hashtag War Jackie for the members if they want to get in for the draw for the Jackie Milburn framed photo and signature, and then we will have a look.
I'll tell you what I do agree with, which Billy Bones has just said. If Eddie Howe starts Target, I will be frustrated as hell.
I wouldn't see the point in it. I wouldn't see the point in it. Sunday's game would be perfect to have a look at Lewis Hall. And look, Lewis Hall would be fit enough to play against Sheffield United, then play against Man City in the Cup. He's got plenty of fitness in him. Even if he doesn't play the full game at Sheffield United, if he, takes him off after 70 minutes, give him 20 minutes rest in that game if he's thinking about starting him in the cup game as well.
I'd like to see Hall play. I mean, especially behind Barnes, because if one thing Barnes lacks, it's a turn of
a little
foot.
Bit of pace, yeah.
And Hall's got that, so I think you could definitely work. I just don't see.
I mean, it's one of those where both sides of the coin make sense. There's a few people in the chat have said 2 clean sheets on the bounce. We should name an unchanged back 4. I completely agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. However, again, it's Sheffield United. This is a really good time to bring in some players that haven't had any minutes yet, because we need them to have some minutes.
Yeah.
So both arguments make loads of sense. And this is one of the points where obviously stats, black and white, yes and no. Sometimes there is a right and wrong answer. This is one of those times where there isn't. It's just there are a couple of ways that could work, and it's really tricky.
Well, Andy H says, I like the graphic with the team selection, Alex. Well done. Thank you very much, Andy. Right, now, it is time for the draw. Here we go. 51 entries in this one. This is for the members draw, and we're underway. Who is going to win the prize?
This is a big one.
Reese. Now, Reese, are you a member? That is the question, or have you snuck in there? Reese, can you let me know that you've won? I think Reese is a member. I'm pretty sure he is.
Has he not won recently?
No.
Forgive the pun.
I don't think he has, no. I don't remember sending anything, but we're just waiting for Reese to confirm that he knows he's won.
He's not a member on here. Reese is in there, just some black writing.
Yeah, he's not in green. He's not a member. Reese, the mods have missed that one. Nice try, matey. But really, you know you're not a member. Why do that? Anyway, we'll draw again. Here we go.
Reese has just mentioned it in the chat.
Yeah, he's not a member. Pedro's having a good night, isn't he? He got a free membership, and now he's won the Milburn prize. Pedro, can you let me know in the chat that you know you have won? Once Pedro confirms, we will then do our match score predictions. So Pedro's had a very good night, gifted a membership, and bang. Well done, Yogi. Yogi's now regretting. Pedro says, get in, it's my night. Pedro, drop me an email in the subject, put Jackie Milburn, and then your address, please, and I'll get that sent to you tomorrow. Well done to all the winners tonight. We will have more prizes over the next few days and weeks. Don't worry about that. So a lot more chances to win. Right, it is now time for the score predictions. Billy, we'll start with you for the scores.
Yeah, a bit of wariness about the game and our ability to break down low blocks. However, I think we will do. I think we've got the quality to do it. So as long as we don't go a hot goal ahead and try and sit back on that, I think we'll be fine. And I think we'll win 2-0. And I think Wilson will score both.
Both of them. Okay. Martin's going 3-1 Newcastle. I like Coffee 5-0. Milo 2-1. Irish Toon 3-0. Chris Thompson 3-1. Jason Selleck 4-0. Jackie Nicholson 2-0, 3-0 Steve Mallam, Ian 2-0, Martins 2-0. Everybody going for Newcastle to win. I haven't seen anybody who's betting against us or even a draw at the moment. So there you go. Yeah, Pedro, do us a favor, buy a couple of lottery tickets for Saturday and go halfies because I'm sure you're going to win it. Or even put some bets on. Not that we condone, bet with what's the thing I'm looking for.
Gambling.
Bet sensibly, yes. When the fun stops, stop. Yeah, I can't see anybody going against Newcastle at all. Alex?
3-0. I'm expecting Callum Wilson to get one. I want Harvey Barnes to get one. And I want... I'm going to be... All right, I'm going to say I want one of the defenders to score a goal. I don't care who it is. I want a goal from a defender from a set piece because normally against these kinds of teams, we get bucket loads of corners and set pieces. Mm-hmm. There is no excuse for not scoring some of them. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. To be fair, the set pieces have improved in the last couple of games. Burns looked a bit better on offensive set pieces. Trippier's delivery's been a little bit better. However, we don't know if those... if they're going to be playing, we'll see probably. So yeah, Wilson, Barnes, and some kind of defensive goal from a set piece, defender's goal. So 3-0. I'm gonna be frustrated if we concede as well. Considering we've just kept a clean sheet away at the San Siro, I don't want to see us conceding. I want another clean sheet. 3-0.
Yeah. Okay, Reese, no worries, mate. Get yourself renewed again. Thought his memberships ran out, so get yourself sorted, matey. No problem at all. But it could have been you. It could have been you. David says Lascelles is our best defender at scoring headers. I can't disagree with that. Actually,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I'm going 2-1 to Newcastle. I think it'll be a very close game again. I hope I'm wrong this time, and I hope we go out and blitz them 4 or 5-0. I really do. But, I just hopefully we'll win. I want to see a clean sheet, but I think they'll sneak one just the way the way our luck's been going. I haven't said that. We were quite lucky in Milan with certain things, but 2-1. I'm going 2-1. Another 3 points, and hopefully march on, and the season really starts to take off for us. But there you go, guys. That is the match preview for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tomorrow night at 7:00, we have Face the Lads with me and Billy. Your chance to come on and live on the show with us for around 5-6 minutes. Have your say about Newcastle United. Make any points that you want to get across to us. It's had a great response from you guys, so it's a great show. So me and Billy will be doing that from 7:00 tomorrow. So do join us, even if you want to take part in the chat as usual. and we'll get people on live and have their say as well. And it just means that you get your point across to me and Billy, and we can discuss it with you for 5 or 6 minutes and then bring someone else on as well. So one at a time, and it certainly seems better. I'm sure that we might see Mr. Reactions at some point to give a motivational speech for the weekend ahead as well. Alex is off to Poland tomorrow, so safe trip, my man, and we'll see you back on Monday. But until then, guys, I will do a press conference video tomorrow, so keep your eyes open for that. And me and Billy will see you back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of the evening, folks. Take care.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check on some breathing. When I don't think too long, and you're insensible, then are you practically tragic? So much trouble makes magic.